So the next thing I'm going to show you is how to add layers and how to move things around. I have done some lettering for the sake of time, but I added them to 4 different layers. So in order to create a new layer, you're just going to click on these squares and then click the X right here. That's going to add a new layer. You can move these around by holding them down and moving them up and down. They start from the bottom layer on up, and so the first one I have showing is the U, and then I'm going to add my other layers. And the way I'm going to show you to move things around is you click on this squiggly button right here. You can highlight anything or circle anything and then move the cursor, and that's going to let us move it around. You can also move things around, resize them, and this is the perfect example of why it's really helpful to use layers. So if I had this phrase all on one layer, I would have to be really careful about going in between each of my lines and making sure that I don't cut off a portion of another word with this tool right here. But since they're all in separate layers, I can just click the cursor and that is going to highlight everything that I have drawn on this layer. So if I want to make this smaller, or if I want to change the color of this one, it's really simple for me to do that without messing up everything else that I've drawn. So in order to move my layers around, like I said, you just hold these down. This is helpful if you're doing a background layer because you want the background layer on the bottom right here. And then if I choose a color, I can fill that background layer in by just clicking once and pressing fill, and that is going to give me a background color. Now once you're done, if you'd like, you can merge all of your layers together by simply pinching them and squeezing them. And then if you do it on accident, you can undo that. Another way to do that, if that's not working, because it is kind of finicky, is you can just tap once here and then press merge down. And if you only want to put maybe 2 layers together, that is one way to do that. Once it's all merged together, everything you edit will be together. Now, if you want to edit things together, but you don't want to merge them together, you can simply use a 1-finger swipe over. You can use the pencil or your finger. Now that all of these blues are highlighted, I can edit this entire thing together, and it's going to keep them all uniform in proportion. When I'm done with that, I can just do my 1 swipe over, and then they're all unhighlighted, and I am back to just changing my 1 layer. Now you can also do some other functions in your layers. You can swipe to the right and you can duplicate the layer, or you can delete a layer. So if you are doing something where you want some repetition, like a pattern, you can continue to duplicate these over and over. And you won't notice them at first because they're all stacked on top. But let's go to this layer. I can press my cursor and then I can move this one. And then I can go to my next one and press my cursor and I can move this one. So they're all there, you just don't notice because they're all stacked on top of each other.